Enticing themes that are distributed in fictional news stories can be highly effective at keeping people engaged across Facebook. The ambiguity over what Facebook is, and thus how it should be governed, is at the core of the latest Facebook controversy, according to Vox. While fake news and hateful rhetoric might stop just short of direct acts of violence, hate speech that is intertwined with fake news can have a violent cause and effect on certain individuals.
D.C. police say Welch fired at least one round into the restaurant floor with an AR-15 rifle like this one on his Facebook page. No one was injured. Police say Welch drove all the way from North Carolina to self-investigate Pizzagate, a fictitious online conspiracy theory.
In July, Facebook announced that they will begin to remove false information that is intended to incite violence and other physical harm. Under the new policy, text and image items that are flagged, which have been created or shared with the purpose of immediately contributing to violence or physical harm, will be removed, according to CNBC. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg tried to explain how the company is trying to differentiate between offensive speech. The example he used was people who deny the Holocaust and posts which promoted false information that could lead to physical harm, according to the New York Times.
There's a set of people who deny that the Holocaust happened,
yes,
right? I find that deeply offensive. But at the end of the day, I don't believe that our platform should take that down, because I think that there are things that different people get wrong. I don't think that they're intentionally getting it wrong, but I think that
in the case of a Holocaust deniers, they might be, but go ahead.
It's hard to impugn intent and to understand the intent.
Hate speech, false information, and the hoax narrative are the deadly dangers of fake news.
The spread of fake news is prevalent in the United States due to the infiltration of it that formed overseas. The start of false information has no solid person or entity to blame. However, most people, and through mass media, we tend to believe it started in Russia.
In 2016, the Russian government, at the direction of Vladimir Putin himself, orchestrated cyber attacks on our nation for the purpose of influencing our election.
There is a problem with fake news in the United States. That, of course, is a real issue. We hear about it every day. However, what about the other countries outside the United States? What about the countries that aren't as media and news literate as us? That is where fake news can spread like wildfire. Through propaganda and lack of education on the subject, people will have difficulty telling the difference between what is real and fake.
The concern was that social media could be used for really nefarious purposes. The opportunities for disinformation, for deception, for everything else are enormous.
However, large companies like Google and Facebook have made strides to filter this out and take a stand against fake news. They've tightened up their policy on political ads by needing to verify who created them and who paid for them.
They took over the role of editing without ever taking on the responsibilities of editing.
In the 2016 U.S. election, fake news was used to whip the United States into a frenzy. It stirred up political jingoism between the two parties. In Myanmar, it was used to fan the flames of racism and incite genocide in a textbook ethnic cleansing.
The ultranationalist Buddhists have their own Facebooks and really inciting a lot of violence and hatred against ethnic minorities.
Facebook has abdicated its role as a content editor, citing Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act.
So Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act is the provision which allows the internet economy to grow and thrive. And Facebook is one of the principal beneficiaries.
However, fake news poses a unique legal dilemma. In the PBS Frontline documentary, The Facebook Dilemma, it was found that a large portion of fake news articles were meant to incite violence. Because of this, they are not protected by the First Amendment. According to the Imminent Lawless Action Test, aka Bradenburg versus Ohio, any speech that's intent is to incite violence is unprotected. Ergo, websites like Facebook and Twitter are not only morally obligated to act as an editor, but are legally obligated as well.